people betting on themselves. You know, when I see people tearing other people down, commenting on other people, judging other people, when you are allowing people to rent space in your head of what they're doing, and not in a good way, right? Like, I've got some successful friends out there that, I mean, are uber successful. I mean, one guy's worth $15 billion. He's a friend of mine. I love that. I mean, that guy's amazing. I can't say a bad thing about him. I love everything he does, dude. I watch his stuff. I'm like, oh my God, this guy's the best, right? You want to see what people do successful and you want to learn from them. He rents space in my head in a positive way. If I were like, oh, that guy's a fucking fraud and that guy's this, and I was negative, then he's renting space in my head and I'm infusing negativity in my mind and soul, and I'm manifesting negativity about this guy. It's just going to come back and get me. You need to manifest positive thoughts. You need to manifest being optimistic. You need to manifest, success and what you see yourself doing and learning from these other people. Everybody learns from everybody. Doesn't matter where you are in life. You can learn something from somebody every time. And I always say this, success is not money or your position, it's happiness. And if you're chasing success, AKA happiness, then part of that is not hating what other people are doing. And start betting on yourself. Most people that don't bet on themselves also don't believe in others. You heard the comment that you got to love yourself before you love others, and that's facts. You have to love yourself before you love others. But you also have to believe in yourself before you can believe in others. And if you don't believe you can ever do it, then you truly don't believe someone else can do it, so you're tearing them down. You're finding reasons for why they're successful and you think it's all bullshit and it's a facade because you're not successful because you don't believe in yourself. But if you start to believe in yourself, then you can start to believe in other people and you could start to see the good in other people and what they're trying to do. And that becomes a powerful force because you learn what they're trying to do and you're trying to do what you do. You kind of blend all that in and guess what? You're unstoppable. That momentum kicks in and you just start to just grow. I mean, that's exciting stuff. I think so. Again, this chicken, too much chicken. Not feeling it. Oh, it's okay. Blueberries are solid. I've never ate lunch on a podcast. I was told this would be dope. I hope you don't mind I'm like chewing in the mic. Hope it's not bad. Solid salad though. I'm addicted to the salad. I think it's the strawberry dressing and the pecans. You know? I don't think it tastes great. It's yummy. Yummy and tasty. So I've got some cool announcements coming out soon. Cool people coming on. I've got no, I can't tell you. I want to surprise you. All right, let's try the potato soup. Salad's probably better. This is good. This isn't very healthy, though. Not very healthy. It's all right, though. Now, the potato salad is solid. I like mustard potato salad, personally. I think it tastes better than the mayonnaise potato salad. That's solid. I'm a fat ass sitting here just eating my food. Whatever. I had to do another show. So I said, you know what? I'll do a public service announcement. Apologize. Make sure people clear the air. Give an update about bullying, which is wrong. People shouldn't bully others. They even bully adults. Adults bully adults. It's just sad. It's so sad. I wish people wouldn't do that. You know, and it's hard for me to understand because I'm like a physical person who loves confrontation. And I'm one who, if someone puts a lot of things, puts me down and says hateful stuff, I have the ability to compartmentalize my thoughts and to give zero fucks. Like I can just say, you know, I don't give zero fucks what they think. That's hard to do. Like my wife, my kids, they struggle to do that. Like I could literally be like, I don't give two shits what you think about me because you're not my people. If you're not with me, then you're against me, then you're not my people. I don't care what you think. But most people can't do that. And so the world, it makes it hard when you can't do that, because then you got to deal with the bullying or feeling left out or feeling less than or feeling put down, and it's just hard. I just wish people would be more kind, have more gratitude, you know, have more appreciation for just humanity. It's just sad. I don't get it. But like I said, with the bullying, I'm confrontational. Like I always go back to, you know, I was bullied as a kid. My son didn't believe me. I was like, dude, I was really bullied as a kid. Pretty fucking bad. Like there were a couple times. I remember, I told this story the other day to him. I was in 7th grade. And so for everybody out in Desert Sky Middle School, baby, what? 7th grade, Arizona. 2 times I got bullied. One time, I got smacked by an 8th grader who was the toughest kid in the school. And for those that know me now, they're like, oh, dude, if you smack Waller, he's down to fight. Like, he's DTF. He's down to fight all the time. And that's true. Like, I'm a confrontational dude. I don't back down from a fight. I mean, I probably should, but I don't. And that's just my bad temper and the zero fucks I give. And, you know, I don't know. Maybe, I don't know what it is, but that's just how I've become. But in 7th grade, the toughest kid in the school, he's an 8th grader, walked up and smacked the shit out of me. Just reached back and right in the face. Just popped me right in the face. And blamed me for liking his girl or something. I didn't even know who the fuck his girl was. And I stood there, dude. I had my boy with me. My boy didn't do shit. He stood there and just looked at him fucking dumbfounded. I didn't do anything. I just stood there. What was I going to do? I would have got my ass whipped. First of all, I wasn't a great fighter in 7th grade. I learned how to fight better in 9th and 10th and 11th grade. I was an okay fighter, I thought. But this kid was way bigger than me, way tougher than me, and smacked the shit out of me. He's probably supposed to be in 9th or 10th grade. It's in 8th grade. I let it go, you know? And I had to tell my son, like, sometimes you just got to take the licks, dude. Sometimes you got to let shit go. You know, Kenny Rogers talks about you got to know when to hold them. You got to know when to fold them. You got to know when to run. In that situation, I folded them. In another situation later that year, I got in a fight with a kid named Tony Pilato. And he was talking shit about my girlfriend. I don't remember her name at the time. Christine something. And so I walked up to him and I was like, hey, this is 7th grade, y'all. So, you know, it was 1993, 94. No, 93. And I was like, hey, why are you talking shit about my girl? And he sucker punches me. Boom! Hits me. My nose explodes. And I'm like, and I'm grabbing him and I'm punching him. And then I'm turning his head around and I'm slamming it in the locker. He's bleeding. There's blood everywhere. I'm bleeding. And they break it up. And we go into the nurse's office. And I've got tissue in my nose. And he's over there. I'm trying to fight him. I'm not done. Like, this kid sucker punched me, right? And they're breaking it up. And then we went into detention center and he's over at his desk and I'm trying to get to him again. And they're like, dude, you got to stop. And they called my dad. And the first thing my dad said, they said, your son's been in a fight. So he gets on the phone. He goes, did you start it? I said, no. He said, did you finish it? I said, well, yeah. And he's like, okay. Cause I would have been grounded. My dad always used to say, don't start a fight, but you better finish it. And if you ain't going to win, you don't come home because you get your ass beat by me. That's what my dad's mentality was. So I was more scared to get my ass kicked from my dad than I was to lose a fight. Right. But I never started a fight. Like, I just never looked for a fight. So look, I felt like I won that fight. I went home. I'm suspended. He's suspended. People are like, did he break Jayson's nose? I'm like, he didn't break my nose. He just hit me on the button. It exploded, and I pounded him, and then I smashed his head in the locker. Well, I wanted more. Like, I wasn't done, and I felt like he snuck a punch on me. So I was telling him, I'm going to whip his ass when I go back to school. Well, his older brother, who's in 10th grade, we're in 8th grade, found out. And his older brother brought like 5 kids with him. And the high school was next to the middle school. And I used to walk home with like sometimes one friend and like 3 or 4 chicks. And that one friend I don't even think was walking that day. And so here I am with 3 or 4 chicks, and we're at the ice cream truck. There was an ice cream truck down the street. And we're walking, and there's the ice cream truck. And all of a sudden I look over, and that all those kids are coming, and they've got crutches, chains, bats, golf club, everything. And I'm freaking out. My heart's beating fast, and they're talking shit. They're running over to me. And I'm right there in front of the ice cream truck. And I'm like, what do I do? I'm going to tell you what I did. You're not going to believe me, but all those in Arizona know this story. My family knows this story. I jumped in a motherfucking ice cream truck. I jumped in the ice cream truck and told that guy, you need to drive. He's like, why? Why do I not drive? And I'm like, no, you need to fucking drive. They're coming. And they started hitting the ice cream truck, and he fucking gunned it. Do. And we drove the ice cream truck down the street. And we got over to my house. And we got to my house. I had this buddy of mine named Chris White that was older. He was in 10th grade that hung out with these other gangs and shit. And I was telling him what happened, telling my dad what happened. My dad's like, what the fuck? So my dad gets pissed because they're trying to jump me. My dad drives me and Chris back over to where these kids are. And Chris goes toe-to-toe, gets toe-to-toe with one of their guys. And they're talking shit to each other. And Chris is bringing up, West Side Fina Getta and blah, 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 Video Hollywood, and blah, blah, all this gang shit. Anyways, nothing happens. It ends up getting dropped. Nothing happens. But you know how many times I had to hear, dude, you jumped in an ice cream truck. Yeah. And I told my son, like, I've been in a lot of fights, probably like 20 fights in my life. And I've never lost one-on-one. They're not bragging. And I've been jumped 4 or 5 times. Listen, I don't feel like I've lost one-on-one. But I tell you this because I've never started a fight. But I also don't fight fights that I know I'm going to lose. And I go back to the Kenny Rogers Gambler song. You got to know when to hold them. You got to know when to fold them. You got to know when to run. Against that 8th grader, who should have been a 10th grader, smacked the shit out of me, I had to fold him. I don't make a move. Against 5 10th graders, I got to run. I jumped in the ice cream truck and took off. But all the other times, I play my cards. I hold them. Let's go. Because there's been several fights I've been in where they're like, they call you shit, they bully you, and you stand up to them, and all of a sudden they ain't bullying you no more. And you all of a sudden, they come in, they run their mouth, and they push you, and then you lay them out, and guess what? They shut their mouth for the rest of their life. Like, they don't ever speak to you again inappropriately. I had several of those. Guy said something to my girlfriend, which is my wife now. I go in, tap him in the thing in the car, and he like swings at me, runs his mouth. He comes out there, beat the shit out of him, smash his head in the ground, blood everywhere. I mean, it's bad. He never spoke again. Face all cockeyed, everything. Like, you got to know when to hold them. You got to know when to fold them. You got to know when to run. I say this, and I said this to my son. I said, look, you handle bullies one of 3 ways. 1, you learn to give 0 fucks, which is really hard. That's where I'm at now. I walk into the gym. I know half those clowns at the gym don't like me. They run their mouth. Look at this guy. He lost this $1 billion company. He's got a reality TV show. He's this, he's that. I know that. And I know the other half are intimidated and they're fans, but they don't want to say nothing. Like, I know how this is. But guess what? I don't give a shit. I walk in pink, purple shoes, pink socks, wife beaters, tank tops, hat sideways. I do whatever I want. I act however I want. Nobody dictates how I am every day except me. That's what's cool. Like, I'm totally me. But it took a lot of things in life. Hurt, pain, failure, loss, bulliness, people talking shit. I mean, it took me to come out of the ashes to give 0 fucks. So I don't expect my kids to have that mentality that nothing you say can bother me. Nothing you do can bother me. That's how I feel right now. Nothing can bother me. That's how I feel. I tell my kids, if you can get to that point, it is a free feeling life. It is like, oh my goodness, nobody can bother who I am and what I do. When you can get to that point, and I'm telling all of you in the show, when you get to that point, it is a freedom that I can't explain. That is, So gratifying, because then you live for you and your family. You don't give any fucks when anybody says what you think, you look like, you smell like, you act like, you're success. Nothing. Don't care about any of it. I'm telling you, there's something real cool about that, because you just don't care. You literally give zero fucks. It is a fucking feeling of freedom I can't explain. And I've gotten to that point. Okay? I've gotten to that point. I'm trying to get my kids to that point. It's really hard. So you got to deal with the bully by literally giving zero fucks and never renting space in your brain for them, and getting excited that they're renting space in their brain with you because they're envious and they're jealous and they're insecure and they're watching you. Therefore, they're not bettering themselves. So in this race of life, you could continue to, accelerate and have success. Or you fight back. You fight back. And sometimes you got to fight back. Sometimes you fight back physically. Like when I think of bullying, a guy trying to take my lunch money, I'm like, motherfucker, come take my lunch money, watch what happens. But that's not the bullying today. The bullying today is social media. The bullying today is exile. The bullying today is manipulation and making fun of kids. Like, it's sad. It's different. Because I used to tell my kids, like, they're bullying you, punch them in the fucking face. Like, it's not what you think. It's what I remember. But that's not the world we live in. So I say you got to fight back, physically or verbally. I use this as an example. My 16-year-old, London, we get made fun of all the time. It's weird because I got bullied when I moved to North Carolina for not having money. I got bullied for living in a trailer park. I got bullied for having a shitty car. I got bullied because my dad, when he took me to school, I'd have to have him park down the street because he had no air conditioning in our car, and it was an old-ass car, and I was embarrassed, and people would make fun of me. People would make fun of me because of my clothes. People would make fun of me because of everything. And I remember sitting in, like, home ed class where, like, you have babies and cooking and all this shit, and I remember these girls. I feel really bad. I'm going to throw the name out there. Jenny McLaughlin. See how this goes. And I remember her and some friends talking shit to me my freshman year. Like, where do you live? I'm like, oh, Southborough. They're like, oh, the trailer park? Yeah. And they're like, hee. And they all start laughing and mocking me. And this happened several times. Like, is that even a real Tommy Hilfiger? Like, all of these things are just mocking me and making fun of me. So I was broke, making fun of my dad's car, all these things. Then I finally lost it and I snapped. And this girl had a lot of freckles, like a lot of freckles. And so I made a comment to her in class. I said, listen, Jenny, it looks like you stood against a fucking screen and someone threw dog shit at you for an hour. And she just started crying. And it felt so exhilarating to stand up for myself and have her feel pain after she put me down for several weeks, her and her friends, and they were popular and I was the new kid. It felt great. I look back, it's not great. I hate that I did it, but I did it. And then all of a sudden, the whole fucking football team wanted to beat the shit out of me. So here I am fighting with the whole damn football team. Like, this was how school went for me. They made fun of me because I was broke. They made fun of me because I was poor. They made fun of me because of where I lived. They made fun of me because of my clothes. They made fun of me because of my dad's car. They made fun of me. Fast forward, I go on, I build several companies. I'm successful. I have money. My kids have nice shit. I drive them in nice cars. They go to nice schools. Guess what they get bullied for? For having too much money. You know, the shoes they wear, the backpacks they have, the cars we drive. Oh, your dad has a Ferrari. Oh, your dad has a Lambo. Oh, your dad has a Porsche. My kids would get bullied time and time and time again for the opposite reason I got bullied. And I would pray about it. I go, God, like, I don't understand. What am I doing wrong? You know, I didn't have anything and they bullied me. My kids have so much and they bullied them. And I just come to the conclusion that when you're relevant, you're going to get bullied. Let me say that again. When you're relevant, you're going to get bullied. When you're irrelevant, nobody gives a fuck about you. You're just another sheep in the herd. Just another cattle in the herd. But when you're a lion or a buffalo and you're fucking relevant, guess what? People gonna find a way to knock on you. Whether you got too little, you got too much, they're scared of you. They're intimidated of you. They're fearful of you. They're jealous of you. You bother them. And you know what? That's a great thing. That means you're relevant. Now, not everybody wants to be relevant. Some people want to be irrelevant and they want to be in the herd, and that's okay. But this motherfucker right here, I want to be relevant. I want to be relevant. So I'll take the bullying when I was broke, and I'll take the bullying if I got money, because you know why? I've learned to give zero fucks. And I got to get my kids to think like that. When you're relevant, when you're important, you're on people's minds. And some people that are good people, you're on their minds in a good way. And those are the people you love. But most people aren't good people. They have to tear people down because they're so insecure and they're so upset about their shortcomings that they have to tear other people down and blame them and say there's reasons that they're successful and make up excuses and paint them with a red brush. And I said, that's because you're relevant. You're intimidating. You're polarizing. You're important. So for all of you out there, when you feel like you're bullied, when you feel like people are putting you in a corner, when you feel like people are making you feel less than, let me tell you something. You're not. You're fucking relevant. You're on their mind. They can't stand it. You're special. You have something they don't, and they're attacking you for it. And you have to remember that. You have to look in the mirror and tell yourself, I'm special. I have something great about me that they're coming after me for. Otherwise, why would they come after me? They're insecure. They're weak. They're scared. Don't allow that to control you. You control you, and know that you are worthy and you are beautiful and you can control and dictate your life and conquer the hour and win the day, because you're relevant and you're important, and those people that try to tear you down, they are not. They want your life. They're intimidated by who you are. You scare them. Think about that. You scare them. That's a power you have. If somebody's picking on you, if someone's bullying you, you have something that they admire and that they're jealous of and that they're insecure about. And guys, you can weaponize that and you can use it against them. And I mentioned earlier how you can give zero fucks if one way, or you can fight back physically. Fuck you. Do you want to talk shit? Let's go. Or verbally. So my 16-year-old who was always bullied about the cars we had, and she would be like, Dad, don't drive that car. Dad, don't do this. Dad, don't do this. And she always wanted to hide under the radar and not be bothered. Now she's a senior. She's 16. And let me tell you something. People fuck with her because she drives a pink Bronco, a Barbie Bronco. And when she got this Bronco, they'd run their mouth. Oh, must be nice, Daddy's money, blah, 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 blah. And she would be like, Dad, I'm so bothered. She finally had enough. She realizes, you know what? They're jealous that I have this. They're jealous of who I am. They're jealous of who our family is. They're jealous of what we're going to do in life because they're wasting their time talking shit about us, which means they're jealous and insecure. And I tell people, if you're wasting your time talking shit about somebody, you are jealous and insecure of those people. That's what you are. So you bet not. Don't let me catch you talking shit about people and be like, man, you hanging on somebody's dick. What's wrong with you? So when they're doing that to London, and they're running their like they're doing that, London finally got it. She goes, yeah, maybe your parents should work more. They can buy a nicer car. What do they say to that? That's kind of mean, Jayson. You're damn right it's mean. But is it mean for them to bully her that she has nice shit? Is it mean for them to judge her because she has a nice car and tell her, oh, my daddy's money, it must be nice, run their mouth? Fucking give it back. So she tells them, maybe your parents should get a better job and buy a car like mine. Woo woo. Now what do? Oh, you come at me, I come at you. You burn my grass down, I blow your fucking block up. That's the mentality of the Wallers. That's the mentality that we got. You'll see it on the Bam Fam show coming out in January. That's the mentality that we have. Or all for one and one for all. Like, look, we're either in it together or you're against us. And it's dog eat dog. And that's how London takes it. She's like, you know what? You come at me, I'm coming at you. That's how Kinsey takes it. That's how Hannah takes it. I'm going to get Christian to take it that way. So option 2 on bullying is that. And option 3 is you just take it. You cry and you just take it. You don't do anything about it. Maybe you turn into the principal. Maybe you turn into your manager, and you just do that way. And there's nothing wrong with that either if that's the route you want to go. But I'm a big believer of learning to give zero fucks is my favorite, or fighting back. When there's bullies, you got to learn to fight back. You got to learn to stand up for yourself. Because there's bullies everywhere. Work, school, families. I mean, it's bad. It's sad. You know, you're not going to hear me go out there and just hate on people. I mean, I'll hate on Generac and that executive team for lying. But you're never going to hear me hate on people. I love to see people succeed because I'm not insecure. I feel like I'm the most secure person out on the planet. And I don't look the best, and I'm not in the best shape, and I don't have the most money, and I'm not the tallest, but I'm fucking confident and I'm secure. And when you have that, I'm telling you, it is a great feeling of freedom. So make sure that you stay focused, you stay positive, you go out and crush it, you have a great holiday. Bam!